guys, how's everybody doing today? Cool. Hey, Dr. Kyle Lovelace here, obviously. And hey guys, I want to go through some really important stuff with you guys today. When it comes to cholesterol, there's been an onslaught forever about how bad cholesterol is to your health. And finally, the American Heart Association says you can have eggs again. So that's the good news. Good news is you can eat your yolks again. That's cool. But the truth is, it was a bunch of just jargon that none of it was true. None of it was medically based, scientifically based. None of it had anything to do with the physiology of our bodies. And there's been some very recent studies that I've been saying that for years. A lot of good doctors have been saying that for years, that cholesterol is essential to your health. No question about it, you need cholesterol. It's essential, right? For you to produce testosterone, for you to produce estrogen, for you to produce cortisol, for you to produce any hormone in your body, the precursor to that is cholesterol. So if your cholesterol levels get too low, you will see all kinds of unhealthy things happening to you. We've been saying that for years. Everything from strokes to neurological issues can happen, to depression, anxiety, to lowered immune system. All those things happen when your LDL levels aren't great. And there's tons of studies out there for that. The most recent studies I want to share with you, because these are really big ones, are right here. So the first one is, this is from the Journal of American Medical Association. Okay, so we got the Journal of American Medical Association, and you can look this up. I'll say the title slowly so you can go back and look it up if you want to look it up for yourself. But it's Association of Serum Cholesterol Levels with Peripheral Nerve Damage in Patients with Type 2 Diabetes. Now, if you're a type 2 diabetic, or you know somebody that's a type 2 diabetic, then you're familiar that anytime you get diagnosed, or somebody gets diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic or with diabetes, they're going to be given a cholesterol medication. It's pretty across the board. They'll do that, and their idea is they're going to prevent heart problems down the road. Not only has the most recent study shown there is no correlation between cholesterol medications, statin medications, and your decreased risk of cholesterol problems, and there is actually one of the most recent studies on LDL shows that it is not an indicator of your cardiovascular risk. That just came out in the last couple of months. So LDL isn't an indicator of cardiovascular risks. However, that's the first thing they do, no matter what the cholesterol level is. So if your cholesterol level is low, but you get type 2 diabetes, you're going to be given a cholesterol medication. So listen to this study, okay? Again, Association of Serum Cholesterol Levels with Peripheral Nerve Damage in Patients with Type 2 Diabetes. All right, hey guys, share this stuff. This is big. Everybody needs to know this, because there's so many people being diagnosed with diabetes, and there's so many people being put on cholesterol meds. Okay, so here it is. So that's the title. The findings, I'm not going to go through the whole study. Again, I want you to go look it up, find this stuff for yourself, read the study, read the research if you want to. But the conclusion and relevance, it says, the findings suggest that lowering serum cholesterol levels in patients with type 2 diabetes and neuropathy is associated with a higher amount of nerve lesions and declining nerve conduction velocities and amplitudes. Again, the findings suggest that lower, so not higher, not high cholesterol, but low cholesterol levels increase the risk of nerve damage and neuropathy and nerve problems. And that makes 100% sense, because guess what? Most of your nervous system is surrounded by? It's surrounded by cholesterol. You need cholesterol. It is essential for your health. So that's the first one. This is serum cholesterol levels, Journal of American Medical Association. So anybody that's a diabetic that you know that's taking cholesterol meds, you need to tell them that article, give it to them, and have them take it to their doctor. Hopefully their doctor is an intelligent human being, and they'll start to consider differently. Okay, this next one is actually not cholesterol meds. This is anticholinergic medications. I'll go back to that one. Most recent study. Aspirin. Okay, so a lot of people that are on cholesterol meds or might be considered high risk of heart disease, they'll put them on aspirin a day as well. And there's been a lot of studies on aspirin showing it's really not the benefit that we thought it was, and it's causing a lot of heart problems. But this is a new meta-analysis on this. This was actually in January 23rd, 2019. And in this meta-analysis, it says that we found that an aspirin did reduce cardiovascular events about a modest 11%. And I would go against that too, but that's what they found, 11%. With a number needed to prevent one event of 265. So 1 out of 265 would be prevent a cardiovascular event, is what they're saying. But it also, get this, it also increased major bleeding, such as GI bleeding, intracranial bleed, or bleed needing hospitalization or transfusions by 43%. Big. Aspirin a day. All the people taking an aspirin a day, all these older people over 50, all right, that's not old, but that's what I tell over 50, that taking an aspirin a day, that isn't the recommendation that should be given to them anymore, according to the research. I can show you multiple other studies on aspirin, but this is just one significant one showing that it actually increases so much negative impact on your health with internal bleeding that it is not worth the possibility of it helping you. Because here's the truth, guys. When it comes to health, medications cannot bring you health. I say this all the time, but it's true, and we forget it because we live in a world that where our paradigm is that there's going to be, we have a symptom, we take a pill for it. We find that medication that might help us get better. And I'm not against medications. I'll share this with you guys right now. I actually had to take, for the first time in 15 years, I had to take a medication the other day. I took an antibiotic because I was out in the country, and I got bit by a tick, and right here on my side. And a week later, I had a big bullseye around it, which is indicative of Lyme's disease. And I don't want Lyme's disease throughout my entire body. And the best and really only way to really kill that Lyme is to take an antibiotic. So I got on the phone with a PA, and they told me they got me an antibiotic. And thank God for that antibiotic, because it got rid of the Lymes. And now I'm not going to have to deal with major joint issues and liver issues and everything else. But now I have to replenish my system, but I couldn't live on that antibiotic. You can't live on a medication and be healthy, because the definition of a medication is it blocks your body's ability to adapt. So there might be areas where in an emergency case we take medications. Taking an aspirin a day is not an emergency case. They're calling it prevention. There's no such thing as medical prevention, okay? You can't take drugs to prevent something. Get that. That whole idea of medical prevention doesn't even make sense. There's nutritional prevention, there's lifestyle change prevention, there's awareness of your health prevention, stuff like that, but that's not taking medications. So you got to understand that one. That's a big one. Share that with people too. Again, aspirin for primary prevention, new meta-analysis. You can Google that, you'll find it. The next one here is low density lipoprotein cholesterol. This is again from PubMed, and I can't find the exact article. It's on PubMed. If you go to www.ncbi.com, you can find it. But low density lipoproteins, your LDL level cholesterol, and the risk of intracerebral hemorrhaging. Okay, so we got LDL levels and the risk of strokes. In other words, a prospective study, systemic review, and meta-analysis. This was done in just last month, actually. It was June 2019. So last month, June 13th, 2019 is when this came out. And here's the conclusion. They said that we observed a significant association between get that, let me read that again. We observed a significant association between lower LDL levels and a high risk of intracranial hemorrhaging, so a stroke. We observed a significant association between lower LDL levels and a higher risk of having a stroke. And the risk decreased to a non-significant level and stabilized when LDL was above 70. Anything below 70, guys. I've been to the hospital. When my dad had a heart attack, when we went to the hospital, I was listening to the medical doctor tell him he had a 59 level of cholesterol, LDL level, that he needed to lower his he had about 70, and they wanted to lower it to 59. That was their goal, to prevent him from a heart attack. That's insane. That doesn't prevent a heart attack. The most recent study on LDL also is saying that it doesn't correlate to heart disease. It has been a whole big deal the pharmaceutical industry has created so you can be on cholesterol medications. You might not believe that, but that is the reality. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. If it wasn't about business and money, it would not be on the market anymore. They are very dangerous medications. Cholesterol medications, statin drugs, will cause rhabdomyolysis, which is muscle wasting. It'll block your body's ability to create CoQ10, which is essential for every cell in your body to produce energy. So you're going to have heart problems from that. It weakens arterial walls. It'll lower your cholesterol unnaturally, and you need cholesterol. So guys, the whole idea that there's a special cholesterol number out there for every single one of us is insanity. It's significantly wrong, and it's against all types of, it's against physiology. Again, I told you, you need that cholesterol to produce hormones. You need that cholesterol for your immune system to work. You need that cholesterol for your brain and your spinal cord and your nerves to be protected properly. It's an essential part of most of the functioning of our body. And they've actually shown that when your cholesterol level's up, get this, when you're stressed, anybody know about stress? Does anybody have stress out there? When you're stressed and you have, like a mental stress or emotional stress or physical stress or chemical stress, which is taking statin medications is a chemical stress on your body. But if you have a chemical stress or physical or emotional stress, your cholesterol levels should be going up. Here's why. To produce cortisol, which is your stress hormone, you need cholesterol. So if you're very stressed, you're going to need more cholesterol to produce that cortisol. You're also going to need more cholesterol if you're in a fight or flight mode, which is stress mode, because you're going to need testosterone. You're going to need these hormones that get you through the process. So as we age, our cholesterol levels should go up. That's normal. That's cool. That's a good deal. Taking these cholesterol meds are causing all kinds of health issues, including dementia. I didn't add that one. Dementia because cholesterol is for brain health and functioning hormones, and your hormones are a big part of that, right? And then this last one here, this last study, guys, I found in the Journal of American Geriatric Society this isn't on cholesterol meds, but it's on anticholinergic medications, and you need to know it too. So anybody taking an anticholinergic medication, use in cognitive impairment in the older population, they wanted to see if they were causing dementia, in other words, or Alzheimer's is what they were looking for. And what they found is the use of medications with anticholinergic activity increases the cumulative risk of cognitive impairment and mortality, increases the risk of death, and increases the risk of cognitive impairment, memory loss. Right? And there's a study just not too long ago on proton pump inhibitors that I can talk to you about, how proton pump inhibitors increase your chance of kidney disease and heart disease. And my point of going through these studies with you is awareness, number one, but number two, let's start thinking logically about things, and let's start looking at the science, which is your physiology, how your body works, and your anatomy, and then also let's start thinking philosophy-wise, right? Our body was made a certain way. Yeah, God created our body. It's powerfully, it's wonderfully made. It doesn't need extra organs. It doesn't need less organs. It's just right. It's got given everything it needs. It doesn't need help healing. It doesn't need a special pill from the outside to help you heal. It needs certain nutrients and minerals and things like that. That's why food's there. But it doesn't need all this other stuff. So if you're living on a medication, it tells you that your body is stuck in a stressed mode, and it's adapting to its environment to survive. And when we're taking and that's what the high blood pressure is, or that's what the heart problem, or the digestive issues and adaptation. It's inflammation in the gut. All these things are adaptations to your body's ability to fight off stress, handle stress. When we take a medication, not only are you giving it more stress, but you're also blocking your body's ability to adapt. Blood pressure medication will block your body's ability to produce high blood pressure. In return, your body now can't adapt because it was doing that for a reason. Think of your body as smart. Your body and our bodies are smarter than, God that created us and our bodies are smarter than human beings trying to make a dollar bill on, prescription medications, right? That's ultimately what these things are for. And they can be there for emergencies, but living on them is a bad idea. And if you're someone that has to live on it, meaning your body just feel like it doesn't work without them, then we got to figure out why. If you're living on proton pump inhibitors so you don't have acid reflux, Nexium, and all those things, well, we got to fix your gut, because you're going to have a lot of other major health issues if you're not digesting your food properly. You guys see where I'm going with this? So guys, hey, if you're listening right now, you can give me your feedback. You might think I'm a nut. You might think I'm crazy, but I just truly believe that. I truly believe that our body is made the way it's supposed to be, and it doesn't need medications. There are times when emergencies hit, like I would consider that Lyme's thing an emergency. It's really hard bacteria to get rid of. If it gets into your joints and everything else, I just didn't want to go down that road, so I chose that direction. So, hey guys, I hope that was good for you. I hope you got a lot out of it, and share this stuff. It's super important that people understand that there is studies out there, a ton of good research out there saying not to do what their doctor's telling them to do. And I'm not telling you, sitting on here saying, don't take this medications, or don't do this, or don't do that. I just want to give you the information so that you are well informed when you are told to take this, that you can say, hey doc, what about this? What about the studies that say that aspirin a day causes internal bleeding and isn't that great of a benefit for preventing heart attack? Or what about the study that LDL levels don't actually have anything to do with your heart disease risks? Or what about the study that if a diabetic lowers its LDL levels, that they'll have worse neuropathy? What about that study? And if they don't know that study, find a new doctor, or show them and hold their hand as they walk through it and learn this stuff. Because the truth is, doctors are busy. They're so busy that they don't have time to read all that stuff I just read you. They're busier than I am, unfortunately. I wish I was as busy as them. I wish I spent all day doing nothing but just seeing patients till dark. But the truth is about 12% of the population goes to a chiropractor, even though we're the most well equipped to help you, health wise long term. And everybody goes to the medical doctor. They're backed up. You call a medical doctor and it takes you forever to get in there. It's because we're so sick. We're the sickest country in the industrialized world, and no one's getting answers in those doctors' offices. They're getting more pills and more drugs and getting sicker and sicker. It's time for a shift. Shift your thinking. Shift your thinking. You gotta shift your. If you keep doing what everyone else is doing, you're gonna get what everyone else is getting. All right, guys. Like this, love it, and share it, or hate it, whatever your choice. But I just had to boldly step out and start to share this stuff more and more. Hey, you guys have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you next time.